If you post one and you get 5 views, this shit
trash.
This shit trash. Ain't nobody looking at this shit. But you get 220, nigga, I'm lit. I'm about to do this shit more.
Right. They do a really good job. Like they figured out how to keep people on the app.
Did they?
They did a really good job of how to keep people on the app. Even the way they like
recommend.
No, like the algorithm itself. Mm-hmm. So you gotta in order for them to recommend your video to somebody else, if it's a 15-second video, they have to watch the entire video for 15 seconds. If it's a 30-second video, they have to watch at least 15 seconds. If it's a 60-second video, they have to watch at least 30 seconds. Mm-hmm. So that's the way they recommend to keep this video going because, hey, this video kept you on for, it's only 15 seconds. It was that good to keep you on for the whole 15, send it to somebody else. And then it'll keep that person on 15. And then it just chain reacts together. It's like, it's a really good algorithm. Like, they put their foot in that. They did a really good job. Yeah. They started recording. So.
Okay.
Yeah. They really, really good job with that one. I think, like, that's going to be, unfortunately, I think, like, short form content is going to be the wave of the future.
Well, that's how kids absorb content now.
Yeah.
Like, my girl's daughter, that's all she watches, like, YouTube. She watch Roblox videos, like just 5-10 minute Roblox videos, and then another one pop right on, and she will do that for 4 or 5 hours, and then when you're ready to take her off of it, it is a problem.
That's crazy.
That's how they do it.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess is dope in a way if you can constantly pump out that kind of content. Like my issue, what I found is that particular site isn't really for what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to be in front of the camera doing the videos and shit. Mm-hmm. I just want to show you this is the product, blah, blah, blah. Maybe some little funny stuff here and there. It ain't really for that. Like, it's the personality comes before the brand and that space or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you will buy it just because you like that person, not because you like what they offer. Mm-hmm. So yeah,
need a cosign. No,
unfortunately. Talk about it. No. But yeah, oh man. Well, you want to introduce it? You want to start it off?
Yeah, so, welcome back, everybody. This is episode 23 of the Block Talk podcast.
Episode 23.
Last episode, we did the relationship pod.
Yes, Black Love.
Yeah, Black Love.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, my girl, Bobby Girl. We had Mike and Jet Set Jelly out there.
Jet Set Jelly. Shout out to y'all. That was a really good episode.
Yeah. Shout
out to y'all. But what's new, man? What's been going on in that short? We back to back on these hoes.
I know, man.
Back to back.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Nothing but man, just chilling. Back to work because I was off for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I was off for 2 weeks, part shortages, and then that stuff that happened at the border with the trucks and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was off, and I'm back to work now. I'm straight. I'm straight. My knees hurt a little bit. Got to get back into the rhythm,
Right.
But I'm straight. How about you, dog?
Same old. Hate my job.
Yeah, for sure. for sure.
Same old. I'm actually like, me and my girlfriend sat down and we talked about like a plan for the next couple months or whatever. Uh-huh. So I'm thinking I'm like a minor inconvenience from quitting. I just need a minor inconvenience and I'm gone. That's it. Just give me a reason. It ain't got to be a good one. Just something minor.
Like you go there to the parking lot full. You're like, they don't need me. It's
like,
full.
Dog, obviously I'm not needed. Obviously I'm going home. Thank God. Yeah. But yeah, like just like I said, I'm just waiting for something small, especially like something during Black History Month, even smaller. Like it ain't got to be like who left the walkie unplugged. I'm going home. Yeah. Like it's that simple. But yeah, I actually super late, but I dropped my new Black Excellence hoodie. I wish I had a video or something I can tag in here, but I mean
you can put it up.
Yeah, I'll do something in post.
Okay.
But yeah, I dropped my new Black Excellence hoodie on February 18th.
That boy fire.
Thank you. I got this on the shelf over here. Yeah. But yeah, I'll put a picture or something up. You guys can see it. But they are available right now on my website, shoprylng.com. If you want to get a quick look at them or whatever, you can go to Instagram and follow me at royallineageapparel.com. Mm-hmm. And then not .com. On Instagram is Royal Lineage Apparel.
Yeah.
And then you will see my little logo, the R and the crown or whatever. But yeah, that's about it. That's all I've been working on, and taking care of my my goal tracker board. So now I'm already looking into next week's or not next season's designs. So my goal this year was to try and be ahead of the curve when it came down to like seasons and when I'm dropping stuff or whatever. And so far they did a really good job. Like in the winter or January, February, March, I was going to work on the spring collection. And then during spring, I'm going to work on the summer stuff. Then during summer, I'm going to work on...
So not to be too business-oriented, but when you go from season to season, from year to year, how do you decide what to put out? Do you think like, oh, I got to do something new and fresh? Or do you look at work and redo that? Like, do you retro Jordan it? Or do you try to find something similar to that but different? Like, what's the process behind it from season to season, like, over different years?
I don't have that much data to really say, honestly. But what I do is like I'll sit on a design for like 6 months and then just keep editing it until I get it to where I want it to be. And then I'll be like, you know what? All right, I think I'm gonna drop this during this. Like I think this has a good feel. Like the collection for the spring is, I call it the Blessed collection. Just because like we went through a bunch of shit, and if you made it out to 2022, you blessed. So I think that's a good idea or good theme to use going forward or whatever. So that's why I call it the Blessed collection. And then I chose like certain designs, patterns, colors that will kind of reflect that. And then for the summer, I mean, for the girls, it's always less clothes. So it's crop, it's crop tops, it's biker shorts, it's leggings, it's tighter fit stuff. But I also, you know, I noticed that I'm doing more girl stuff than more guy stuff or whatever. So I'm trying to balance it out, and it's a hard balancing act or whatever. But I really don't have any data to like say, okay, this works, so let's do this. I look at the playing field and I say, okay, they doing that. Well, my design looks kind of like that, but it's different from both of these. I think it'll do well. Let's put it out. Okay.
Yep. See, I'm very data driven, analytics driven, numbers driven.
I probably should be too. I'd probably be more successful, but
no, but you know, I mean, most creative people aren't into that side. Like I think you said a couple episodes ago, like businessman in art or art dude in business. Yeah, that was last episode, and I think that's a true statement, and it's a true balancing act. Yeah. So and I will tell you that once you become more involved in numbers, it does subtract from creativity. And because like I said, when I was doing the music thing more actively, I was just doing music for the sake of doing music. Then I started getting numbers, and numbers became involved. And I'm like, well, okay, this produced these numbers, this produced these numbers, and then you start getting more scientific, and it becomes less of an art and more of a science.
Right. And you don't get the same feeling. Well, I don't get the same feeling from when I do something that's, like you said, formulaic. I just there's no real passion behind it. It's just like, okay, well, I know this will work. There you go, you got it. And
but one thing I will say about the clothes, and it's not like formulaic, is sometimes things are timeless. Sometimes things just always look good. Yeah, and like people will always buy a black tee. People will always like people. You say how often people buy the same Jordan 11 in the same color. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's cool to revisit something. Like I said, I like the original Detroit hoodie in the font and everything, the original colorways, and the Kim colorway especially.
Shout out to Kim.
Yeah, that Kim PE was fire, and I need it. But I would definitely like to see the Detroit 2.0s.
Yeah, I'm working on those. That'll be coming out March 13th, so 3/13. Okay. Those will be coming out on 3/13 day. I actually got like a whole rollout plan for that. So like I'm actually really happy with my little goal tracker over there. It kept me on pace. It kept me going to the next thing. Okay, make sure you got this done by this date. Make sure you got this done by this month. Make sure you work on this because that stuff is already done. Don't worry about it no more. Like, it's really keeping me on pace, keeping me on track. And then on top of that, even if I don't keep on track with like the actual design process, at least like I know, okay, well, I'm already done with all the goals in February. So any money I got left over that was like my spending budget, I can now put towards, March's budget or whatever. Mm-hmm. So it's really helpful. Like I don't really do good with what's it called?
Budgeting?
No, vision boards. No, that too. But I don't do good with vision boards. They way too abstract. I tried one a couple years ago. It's way too loose in general. This like at the end of the month, I give myself a score. Like, okay, you're supposed to did 3 goals this month. You only did 1. You know what I'm saying? You got a 30% for this month or whatever. Like, so it keeps me on track.
See, and I appreciate the idea of that, but I'm not about to score myself because I'm not about to fail myself. Nigga,
but you got to.
Society fails me enough. Nigga, I fail society. Everybody's failing everybody, bro. They don't need me.
But you got to. You got to.
And don't get me wrong, like, I feel like there's definitely a benefit to that. But for somebody like me, I have to want to do it. So it's like, like when you gotta like clean something, like your basement is messy, you gotta clean your basement,
right?
And you like, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna get to it, and you never really get to it. But when you feel like doing it, you get in the mood to do it, you do it, and you probably do the whole thing in that one day because you actually felt like doing it. You had momentum and everything, and the results of you doing it when you felt like it is probably better than if you were incrementally forcing it throughout a week or something.
Right?
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Yeah,
but that don't work for me. I got it. I got to. And then so like one of my goals was I want to save $200 every month. At the end of every month, after all my spending for the clothes, whatever, I want to have $200 set to the side. But
it's a business budget or a personal budget.
This is a personal. This is just I want to have some money in the bank, $200 at the end of every month.
Okay.
But because of my car went down or whatever, that just out the window. So, but I was like, okay. Like, that's one of the things I failed at. And that's like, that brought one of the scores down. But I'm like, okay, I know what happened. That's out of my control. So even though, I got 50% for January, it's like, okay, I would have had, close to 75 if it wasn't for my car going down. So it's a give and take. You know what you did wrong or whatever. And I appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. But off of business, whatever. Yeah. The trade, that's what I want to talk about.
The trade?
The NBA trade, yes. We haven't talked.
Okay, we in sports early, okay.
Yes, I want to talk about the trade. Just to get it out the way.
Wait, real quick. No, I wish you had sponsors. That'd be crazy. This nigga. But look, remember, I think it might have been like 3 or 4 episodes ago, I was like, man, the Lakers should trade AD. Remember, I was saying that wasn't nobody else saying that shit before I said it.
Did you say it on the pod or no?
I said it on the pod.
Oh, okay.
So it's on one of these pods because I was like, man, we should trade him for like Cat, or they should trade him for Cat or something.
Straight up trade.
Yeah, and then you was like no, and all this other stuff. But then, sure enough, though, like over the past, after he got injured again, everybody like, oh, trade him. I'm like, nigga, I said it first.
Yeah.
If y'all would have traded him when I said it, y'all could have got something for him.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking something like, I would trade AD and Westbrook. Because nobody's gonna take Westbrook by himself. If you get AD with them, then yeah, you can move him. But then you probably ain't getting nothing for him. So you'll probably get like I said, if I was them, I would try to get either like Cat and Patrick Beverly, or
no, I need D'Angelo Russell. That's what I need.
He was already there. He don't want to come back.
I need D'Angelo. I need him and Julius Randle back.
Okay, what you think about the trades though?
But no, of course, Brooklyn Nets traded. The Nets traded James Harden and Paul Millsap for I think 2 picks, Andre Drummond, Seth Curry, and Ben Simmons, right?
That's crazy.
I know, right? And my thing was, before this trade, it was like the Nets had to give up a lot to get even to get like KD, James Harden, and Kyrie. They had to give up a lot because
you mean in terms of like cap space?
No, like just over the years, they gave up a lot of pieces, a lot of trade, all this stuff or whatever. Like they gave up what's boy name? What the fuck is boy name? Well, first they let D'Angelo Russell walk those years ago.
He went to Golden State. That was a trade. That was a sign and trade. They both signed and traded.
Really?
Yes, because they had got a pick. So New Jersey had got a pick because KD didn't feel right getting traded straight up for D'Angelo Russell. So he said, you can't sign and trade me unless you give a pick to New Jersey where I'm going. So that was actually a signing trade. So they didn't walk. They got traded for each other.
Okay, so they did. Okay. So scratch that one. Karis LeVert, Jared Allen. They had to get him up to make space for Harden.
Okay.
They gave them up. They had a couple other pieces there before KD got there. Mm-hmm. They had a couple pieces. Mm-hmm. Cause that team was like middle of the road. They were like okay before getting Kyrie and KD, and then before getting Harden. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I was surprised they got so much stuff back, like with the 2 draft picks or whatever, and getting like Drummond even if they would have just got 2 players and a draft pick, I still think like they got a lot back, favoring them in this trade or whatever.
I agree.
I don't think James Harden is going to work out in Philly. That's just me.
I don't think he is either.
I think you when you let go Seth, you gave up too much. When you let go Seth, you gave up way too much. Like if it would be a lot better if James Harden and Seth was still there. I mean, if James Harden, Seth, and Tobias Harris and Embiid, that'd have been a much better lineup for them going forward. I don't see them making it that far.
Well, I think they're being 76ers, I think their identity is more so defense, which is why they kept like Thibault and the other guy. But I think they're more defensive oriented than, let's say, New Jersey, who went full offense.
But what they were lacking in defense, they made up now.
Like Drummond is not no stopper.
Yeah, but they were getting killed on the boards. LaMarcus Aldridge wasn't getting no boards. Paul Millsap wasn't getting no boards. He wasn't playing no D. They were getting killed. And now, like the first 20-something minutes, he got 19 rebounds. Like
who, Andre?
Yeah. Like that frees up so much more stuff. And then on top of that, if you want to play small ball, you can move what's his name to the center. You can move Ben Simmons to the center. And you can, who would you put in to fill that other shooting guard spot? I don't know. Or that other wing spot. I don't know. But the possibility to go small, faster is there. Now, will they, unfortunately, my sleeper is still Chicago. I still got Chicago being a sleeper.
Yeah.
Like, if anybody can upset, I think it'll be Chicago. But I think it's going to end up being, once again, Nets, Bucks in the East. But that's all I got. I was just happy that the trade happened.
Yeah, I'm glad that it happened too. And both teams are better for it. Because, I mean...
One team is a lot better.
One team is a lot better, but you can't say that 76ers not better because they literally got...
A player that wasn't playing.
Right, a player that was not playing.
Yeah, that's true.
So you can't... Anything over 0 is better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and to switch over to the WNBA... Or is it college basketball with the lady in the?
Oh yeah. Coach Sydney Carter, I believe her name was. If somebody know her, tell her to reach out to me. I got some more leggings for her if she wants some. But anyway, a lot of people probably haven't seen it. I'll put the pic up on the screen or whatever. But it was a big deal because this coach, I believe she's at Texas A&M, and she's the coach over women's basketball or whatever. I'll fact check myself later, but she wore like this, I think like a sweater or like a damn near a turtleneck, and then she had on these like pink faux leather leggings and with like some pink heels or whatever, and it was like for breast cancer awareness or whatever.
Nigga, that's in October.
So the people didn't really care about why she was wearing the colors or whatever. It was just that, damn, she thick as hell. Why is she wearing that? Like they made a big deal. Oh, she's unprofessional for wearing this stuff. Da, da, da. And my thing is, like literally from the bottom of her ears to her hands and her ankles is covered. She had a long sleeve shirt on. Like she got her entire body is covered to her ankles. Unless you a hands and feet person, it should be no problem.
In corporate America, black women dressing sexy is always considered inappropriate. A lot of the times, black women looking better than white women in a professional setting is considered inappropriate. So I'm gonna tell you, I was in high school. They had a rule. If you could wear shorts, but your shorts had to go past your thumbs, right?
Your thumbs? That's still pretty high.
Okay.
I heard it was past the tip of your.
For us, it was in Fraser. It was past your thumb.
Wow.
So some girls would wear it was longer, some it was shorter, but whatever. It was never no big deal. It was just one girl, fat ass, and hers actually went past her thumb, but she was thick as fuck.
Right.
And school didn't like it. Principal said, no, that's inappropriate. But she had the longest shorts in the class.
Right.
But because of how she was shaped, how she was built, everybody else around probably made some of them white teachers uncomfortable or whatever. It's inappropriate.
That's bullshit.
But that's normal. And then a lot of times when black women do things that white people don't understand, period, like culturally, they consider that inappropriate as well. Another thing, I was at PNC. I'm at the bank. Had a white manager. This black girl came in. She was working there. She had got like these long, like African looking braids, right? And she had like beads in them. And then he was like, what'd you do with your hair? It's like, it's so long and it's so loud. That's inappropriate. Like, nigga, who are you? And then then the white people use their power, like, as manager, like, go home and don't come back until it's fixed. If he told me that, and I just got my hair done, I'm gone for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm gone.
3-week vacation, thank you.
Right.
Like, I just paid for this.
Right.
Like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah.
But, unfortunately, it's a normalized practice.
I think that's bullshit. Like, I don't think women should have to dress like... You shouldn't have to dress like Craig Sager just to have a job. Like, legit. Like, they want them to come in with the three-piece pantsuit. Mm-hmm. Like, you shouldn't have to look like that.
Right.
Just to... Like, first off, like one of my friends was saying, like, if this was a guy's basketball team or whatever, I could see the argument. And I'm like, no. Like, you should be, whether it's guys or girls, your focus should be on the game of basketball. Mm-hmm. Your focus, if you're on the court, even if you're the other coach on the other side, you should not be looking at this woman trying to figure out what she's wearing or whatever. Mm-hmm. Your job is to win us basketball games, not to be looking at this other woman.
I feel like you don't know the answer to this, but did she win that game?
I don't know. Does it matter?
No, but I feel like if she won and I'm her, if I won and I'm her, I'm talking shit. Like nigga, like my team dropped buckets on your team. Right. Like nigga, like nah, I'm talking shit.
I don't. To me, but honestly, they were saying like the people that was upset was like other like people watching the game, not like it was like some commentators, some announcers or whatever. But for the most part, like it was people that was watching.
No,
the game.
I don't want no niggas at home getting upset by like anything. Like I said, probably episode 4, bro. Write a letter. You gotta write a letter. You gotta write a letter. You can't email it. You can't tweet it. You can't Instagram it or Facebook. You gotta write a letter. Nah. Or a phone call with like a 14-minute hold. Then you can
the
14-minute hold with the good beat too. Like then you can be angry. And I feel like this is actually something that this is what happened to me. I might have brought this up before, but it like hit an apex just the other day. So recently, I bought this phone and it had a dead pixel on it. And I was always saying, I'm going to go ahead and get this phone taken, like replaced and all this other stuff, right? Mm-hmm. And it's been like that for almost a year. And I've never got it taken care of. So I'm like, clearly I'm not that upset about it. So then about 2-3 weeks ago, I went to T-Mobile. I told them, I'm like, yo, my phone got a dead pixel. I want to do something about it. And they're like, okay, cool. We're going to get the replacement. I paid the $5 or $7 or whatever. And they said, come back in a couple days. We're going to send you a text when the phone is ready. They sent me a text when the phone was ready. I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back and get it. I'm going to come and get it. 3 weeks went past. I didn't go get it. So I made myself believe I had an issue with my phone. Clearly, I don't have an issue with my phone. It's a dead pixel and it's annoying, but it's not annoying enough to make me divert from my day. It's not enough to make me get angry. It's only an issue when I have nothing else to worry about.
Right.
When I'm at home and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I look at my phone and I see that little dot, then I'm mad. But when I'm out conducting my day, I'm using my phone, I'm driving, I'm here or whatever, it doesn't bother me. So in actuality, I'm not upset by it.
You're not upset. You're not that upset.
So as soon as it took me effort to be upset.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if people, like I said, people had to use energy and effort to be upset, they would not be upset.
That's true. But I wanted to touch on it because I thought it was just straight up bullshit that they, ostracized her like that or whatever. And I'm gonna look into it to see if they won or not, and see what happened. But
and you said she's a coach, right?
Yeah, I believe she's a coach.
Yeah.
But so from what I was told, she used to play there as well, and she was like an assistant coach or something like that. But like she was known. Like this wasn't like they found somebody from high school coach to come be a coach. Like no, they knew this lady, who she was, all this stuff, and then but apparently they just didn't know she had bonds like that. So,
okay. Yeah. Speaking of coaches, you know Becky Hammond is back in the WNBA, right?
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, so she's back in the WNBA after being the assistant coach for the Spurs for a couple years. And she's actually the highest paid WNBA coach ever. And she's making $1 million a year, which among coaches is like NBA coaches is low.
Yeah, pretty low.
But she is paid higher than any WNBA player.
Yeah, like 4 times, right?
Yeah, so the highest WNBA player makes about $250,000 a year, and she's making $1 million a year. And I think Liz Cambridge, she's one of the bigger people in the league. She got mad about it, saying like, "How y'all gonna pay her $1 million? You only giving us $250K and stuff like that," which I think in a way is valid, but you also got to know your market and you got to understand your product. So.
She's a bigger name. She's a bigger draw. Even if people aren't watching the game for y'all, they're gonna watch and support because that's Becky Hammond's team. She's coaching that team, so she's worth more money.
So yeah, I definitely feel like it's recognition. But like I said, she's from the WNBA also.
Yeah, she was WNBA, moved up to the not moved up.
She played in WNBA.
Really?
Yeah, Becky Hammond was a player.
I thought she was a coach.
She was a player.
I thought she was a coach.
A coach of what?
The WNBA.
She is now.
No, before that, I thought she was a coach in WNBA.
Nigga, she played.
Wow. So much I know.
Man. God damn it.
So it's how much I know. And I'm an advocate for WNBA. Like they definitely should be paid more, but they should be paid more based upon the performance of the actual entertainment.
Yeah, like I said, like we said before, just lower the rim to 9.5 feet.
No, not 9.5. 9. Lower it to 9.
I think I can go 9 feet 3 inches. I think 9 feet 4 inches, something like that. Some increment. Something that fits in the 12.
Straight up 9. Just lower it to 9. The whole foot. Just lower it. I want to see. Like, could you imagine Candace Parker dunking on something?
Man, I'm telling you, it would be crazy. It would be electrifying.
Yes.
And then it would definitely increase sales.
Yes.
But I think from what I've heard from WNBA players though, they're worried about the equality of it. Because they want to be seen like they're on that level with men. Like men.
Unfortunately, you're not.
And I understand that. Like, and I'm not saying skill set wise that they're not. It's like
even skill set, they not.
Well, look. So some like niggas are like 6'8", 6'9". You're not built like that. You're 5'8", 5'9".
Right.
So some women will outshoot dudes. Some women can out dribble dudes.
This is very true.
So I think
outpass. Some of them are faster than them.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. Like, because you said that they're not is equally skilled.
But the amount of WNBA players that are skilled in certain areas compared to NBA players is not that much.
See, but
for every one that's faster than somebody, you got 10 that's faster than her.
So I believe that's because of how, in a way, we're brought up. Because men, like boys or whatever, we're all like, yeah, we'll play basketball, we do this, we'll work on this. And we have a higher, like, some dudes believe that they can make it to the league with tons and tons of practice and that this is a viable option and all this other stuff. But for the women, for the most part, most women don't grow up thinking ball is life. Like, they'll get into basketball, they'll like basketball, they'll play basketball, but then they'll get a job, have kids, and they'll never touch it again. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, it was never their primary thing. For a lot of guys and boys, it is their primary thing. Like, we spent whole summers doing that shit.
Right.
Most girls don't spend whole summers doing that shit. So if it was seen as a thing where, like, yo, if I make it to the WNBA, I can make millions and millions of dollars for my family and set up my family,
right?
Then I think women would be more driven to put into practice, put in that time to become elite at it. Especially, like I said, in a place where it's equal, where the rim is like 9 feet or something like that. Then yeah. But for the 10 feet, no, that's a wrap on that. I would get rid of that.
Yeah. Get a host up. But okay, so Becky Hammond was a player in the WNBA.
Uh-huh.
Then she moved up to be
a coach in the
NBA, or she assistant coach.
Yeah, assistant
and
coach.
And then she coached in place of Pop for a little while, and then she went back down. Now she's a coach at the. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But still, like I said, she's a bigger name, bigger draw.
But see, I feel like no coach should be paid more than a player.
That's true, but this is a very special circumstance.
I really don't care. I mean, like, nigga, you could be like, nigga, they could get Coach K to coach, and I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. You got to go down $250,000 now, like, because don't get me wrong, like, people who are very into sports might tune in and be like, oh, let me see what Coach K is about. But for pretty much any product, you're not going for, like, any entertainment product, you're not going for, like, a niche crowd. Usually, you want it to be as easily accessible and, like, adaptable as possible.
Yeah.
So, niggas ain't turning on, like, most people don't know the coaches in the league. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, unless they did something crazy.
Like, that doesn't, like whether or not who coach ain't gonna determine if India watch it or not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's true.
Like, we got Phil Jackson. Like,
right. She like, who the fuck is Phil? But speaking of, like, a niche market, you looking the topic up. Did you hear about Kanye putting Donda 2 out on his stem player?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Okay, how you feel about it?
I ain't gonna listen to it.
So if you haven't heard, the stem player, it's like this product that, like, I guess it breaks down the stems in the record, and you can, like, change the audio level of the different stems or whatever. So if you like the bass and you want it to hit, you can put that up a little bit. If you like the vocals more, you can turn the vocals up or whatever. But you can do it on the individual tracks. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So so if you haven't heard, like, apparently this tech has been out already, and then Kanye got behind it and, like, became the face of it or whatever, and calling it his product. And so he's saying that Donda 2 will only come out on his stem player or whatever.
Well, to be fair, that nigga said that before about Life of Pablo. I'm only going to be on Tidal, and that nigga was on Tidal for, like, a month.
Yeah, but I think that's in everybody's, like, thing. If you are, like, under the Tidal umbrella as, like, a shareholder, like, your albums came out there first, and then it went everywhere else.
No, but he said it was only gonna be available on Tidal. Because I remember
he was cool with Jay-Z back then.
I remember I signed up for Tidal to hear the album, so it worked for me.
Yeah,
so $10 to listen to it, I got you.
Right.
$200, I'm not doing it.
Right. So the part I want to talk about is, like, the niche market idea of, like,
you don't talk about it being $200.
It's gonna be $200, and so I was listening to this other podcast, and they were talking about how it's unfair. One of the guys was saying it's unfair to kids that like Kanye that want to hear the album or whatever, but no, most kids don't have $200 or whatever. And then it's also, like, unfair to the people that don't have the 200 to just blow on one piece of equipment to hear one fucking album. And so they were just talking about, those different things. And I thought it was pretty interesting because they got to this point where they were like, yeah, we speak from a very elitist perspective, because if I want it, I'm going to get it. And if you can't afford it, so what? Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I think that's very true. I think it's unfortunately true. But I think when it comes down to creators, artists, companies or whatever, they don't care if you can't buy it. Because at the end of the day, the people that can buy it are going to buy it. The people that can't buy it are still going to buy it. Like,
now, how do you feel like this is different than when Nipsey did his album for $100?
I don't think that's any different. I don't think it's... Well, so I do think it's different.
Because it's $100 difference?
No. Because Nipsey's album actually came up for free. You can get it on Live Mixtapes and Dat Piff for free. But if you want to buy the actual physical copy, it came with so much more stuff. It came with, like, tickets, a t-shirt. Like, people didn't know. It came with a lot more stuff. But I don't think it's any different. If you can't afford to buy the physical album... Go download it. It's on Dat Piff. It's on Live Mixtapes. Go download it. It's still easily accessible to you. And so yeah, I think it's much different, because if what he's saying is true, it won't be anywhere. You can't buy it on iTunes. You can't buy it on the Google Play Store. You only can get it if you get the stem player, which I don't think that's gonna be true. I think you can buy it, but you just can't stream it.
So if it's a buy but can't stream option, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But nigga, we are also in 2022.
Somebody go get it. You go get it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube.
It's gonna somewhere.
It's gonna be around, and you know, who knows? Bootleggers been waiting for this moment. Mm-hmm. Like, bro, if niggas can take a dude credit card number without permission, you think we can't get this album? Cuz
right,
stop it
off the stimmy.
No,
you can't get the album off the stimmy. You sound crazy.
Yeah, so I do believe he's creating an artificial point of entry to the album, mm-hmm. but I do believe that it will be out, if not right away, soon after, because $200 is just not an attainable amount for most people.
But again, I don't care about most people. I care about the people that can't afford it. So if I got 1 million people that can't afford it, but I got 500,000 that can afford it, I'm worried about the 500,000 who can.
See. No. I mean, and then, like, so with me being a numbers guy and the analytics guy, I'm going to have to go and check the numbers. I'm going to have to check and see how many people listen to Donda. And I have Spotify for artists, right? So I can look and see how many people listen to my songs, so where they listen to it at, and how many times each person listened or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Nigga, so you gave your shit away for free on streaming, and it did like X amount for free for people who have the thing. So selling for $200, I don't see it. But unless it's some crazy Billboard, Spotify streaming thing where for every $10 it's an album sold, so you sell 200, you get 20 albums sold or something like that.
So the reason why he wanted to put it on the stem player is because he's saying, like, you make pennies on the dollar streaming.
Yes.
Where versus if you buy it, he only got to sell so many of the stem players to get his money back, to make a profit. You will make much more of a profit selling the physical stem player than you will getting streams. And that at the end of the day, I don't care about the millions who can't listen, because you go listen to it and your million only end up being $1,000.
But that doesn't make sense. Because if your thing is about profit, then just sell the album. Just sell the album.
I am selling it. I'm selling it on my stem player.
But you're selling it. But see, look, very few people can afford $200. Way more people can afford $10 than the amount of people can afford $200.
That's very true. But we gotta look at who we talking about. It's Kanye.
I understand.
Everything with Kanye has a high price. It's in the hundreds.
No,
everything is a high price tag. Everything.
I'm not saying. I'm not
clothes.
Okay.
Everything is a high price tag with Kanye West.
Okay.
So why would he put out his album for $10 where that's not my brand? My brand is luxury item.
See, look, the whole music industry was changed around. It was like changed around from people getting music illegally. Mm-hmm. So I'm telling you, like, it just doesn't seem like a smart thing to do. It. That can't be his move. Unless, for some other reason, the stem player is going to be used for something else. You're not selling me a single album for $200. I don't give a fuck who it is.
He's not selling you
a single
album for $200.
Look, it could be Michael Jackson's unreleased collab with Tupac, bro. I'm not buying it for $200.
You're not buying it for $200.
I'm not.
Somebody is buying it.
Somebody is going to buy it for $200.
In place of you, somebody's going to buy it for $200.
And I'm saying, it doesn't matter because I'm going to get it anyway. I'm not paying $200 for it.
Cool, you got what you wanted.
Yeah,
and I got what I wanted. So somebody bought it for $200 somewhere.
I guess you're right, but
somebody somewhere bought it for $200.
Somebody somewhere bought it for $200,
and I got the money back out. I got the money I wanted. You downloaded it. They might not be best quality. They probably got the better vocals, all that shit on the stem player or whatever. But you got it. You listened to it. Mm-hmm. They got it. They enjoyed it. They listened to it, and I got my money. All three parties are happy. What's the most you would ever spend on the album, Bobby? On an album?
Yes.
I think the highest I've spent is like $24.
What's the most you would spend?
Like $30-$40. Depending on what artist come with. Like on the average deluxe album, when I was buying albums, was about that 22, 23 range. Mm-hmm. I think that was the last one I actually brought. The Born Center Deluxe album.
I don't see why more artists don't go back to CDs. I mean, I understand it's not like streaming or whatever, but with everybody being so numbers conscious, and Because you know how an album sale is calculated for streaming?
It's like you stream one particular song so many times and it counts as an album sale.
Yeah. So you have to stream you have to have so many streams from an album for it to count as an album sale. Mm-hmm. So, nigga, you could just sell the album because somebody who music I typically like Drake or something, if it was Certified Lover Boy and they say, yeah, we got it on streaming, but if you want to buy it directly from me for $10 or whatever, you know, like the money goes straight to me and you get the album. Like I would pay the $10 like to support my artists, and especially the independent artists where they rely more so on streams and things like that. I think that's something that they should probably revisit.
Well, so unfortunately, you don't listen to too much underground hip hop or whatever, but they are doing that. Like it's even people that are doing they're pressing up their own vinyls. Mm-hmm. They're even going back to doing the cassettes because it's just way more profitable that way. Mm-hmm. And it's a novelty item. Like you can hang it on, you can put it on your table. You know, oh man, you got the such and such from such and such. Then he did that release, and like yeah, it's only like 3,000 of them out, and you got one. Like it's a cool talking point or whatever, cool item to have. Mm-hmm. But like that's what Griselda was doing. Conway being the Butcher.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, they were pressing their own vinyls, doing all that stuff. But yeah, it's still big in the underground scene. Mm-hmm. It's just that nobody, the big artists like your Drakes, your Kanyes, your J. Cole's, your Kendricks, mm-hmm. they aren't doing it. Well, Kendrick just did. He just did To Pimp a Butterfly. But I still think that came out through like Interscope or whatever, mm-hmm. not like him spending the money himself to go press him up. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you still got people, it just haven't caught on to the mainstream. Because when you're that big, why? Mm-hmm. When I can just stream and get the same amount of money you making by doing all this extra work. So, like, if they did it, they'll be a lot richer. But again, it's convenience versus, what's the word? I don't know. But
profits? I
don't know. Whatever. But the convenience of just being able to put it on streaming, and I know it's first week sell 20, 40, 50,000 versus you got to do all this work and ship them out and all this stuff. You hire a whole team to ship out 50,000 records when I can just throw it on streaming and sit back and let it cook or whatever.
See, I feel like for that difference in profit though, it might be worth the work. And then, shipping, a lot of that shit is automated anyway now. Yeah. So, but, it's different than what it was like when like streaming first started coming in, probably like 2013, 2014. Like say it's a lot more automated now. So even somebody like me, I can go to a shop. I mean, I can not shop, but I can go to a website, put my music on the site. You can say, I want this in CD form. And they'll mail you the CD. They'll put the songs on the CD and mail it to you. I didn't do anything. So it's not as hard as it used to be.
That's cool.
Speaking of music though, how you feel about did you see that Pusha T interview he did with Complex?
I did not. I I heard little snippets about it, but
yeah. So, they was asking about the Drake and Pusha T about him and Drake beef. Mm-hmm. And, he was saying pretty much that he had moved past it. And it was after Drake had posted a picture of his son using a Clips lyric. Right? So, I don't know. How do you feel if Pusha T really has moved past it? How do you feel about it?
This is the P in Pusha T stands for petty. Okay? Pusha T is not done with this. He's not done with this. He's not. I believe because it's in my head, I don't know how this to be true, but it's the moment where it's like the bully in school beat up the popular nigga, and now he like, go ahead, take something else. Take something else. like yeah, he cool. Go ahead, take something. Oh, okay. I thought he just said something. Oh, like it's one of those moments. Like I don't think he's over this. But he might be over it, but at the drop of a dime, he's ready to go back in.
I think, I completely agree with what you just said. I think he's over it, but he will go back in if need be. Mm-hmm. But as long as Drake and Kanye stays cool, I don't think he'll have to.
I don't think they're really cool.
As long as they portray that they're cool, I don't think he'll have to. Because if you listen to any interview that Pusha T has done about him and Drake beef, his whole thing was, I never really had a beef with Drake. His thing was, he said some shit about Kanye. I'm with Kanye. So now you got it. Now you about to get jumped. That was his whole thing. So his whole thing, he never really had an individual beef with him.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard that before. Like when 50 and Ja was beefing, well, initially beefing because they always go beef forever.
Right.
Eminem had ran into Ja Rule at the airport, and they had a conversation or whatever. And then Eminem was like, "Yeah, it's nothing against you, but 50 on my team, so this is what has to happen,
right?"
Or whatever. And who nobody's business. It was no big fucking deal. They kept it music, and so it's not that big of a deal. So I think what's the nigga name? Pusha T is gonna leave it. I think Drake is gonna leave it. I don't think we gonna hear a song with them or nothing, but I think he'll leave it.
They don't have songs together to begin with.
They don't. That's what I said.
Like nobody is looking for them to piece things up. Like nobody is looking. Oh man, can you just make up so I can hear Drake and Pusha T again?
Yeah, nah,
like nobody's looking for that.
Nobody's looking for that.
We are looking for them to go back at it. Honestly, like this shit been boring as hell for the past couple years. Like,
so man, that had me. Their beef had raised the question to me: how important do you think it is to control a narrative? And we'll keep it in music. In a situation like that, how important do you think it is to control a narrative?
Okay. So in a situation like that, with such harsh allegations coming out with the blackface and you hiding the kid and all this stuff, like this literally came out of nowhere. Like when the Infrared album dropped, like it was blindsided. Like you had to go into scramble mode. So I think in that situation, because Push came out just firing, it would have behooved Drake to gather himself and try to maneuver a little better than what he did.
So like I was telling you off camera, the way it played out, I think if Drake wasn't taken aback the way he was, he probably wouldn't be able to think better about it.
Yeah.
Because I was able to think of a cool way for him to do it, but of course that was like 4 years later. Only took me 4 years to figure this plan out. But like I said, Pusha T did Infrared, Drake did Duppy, and then the Superior track, and then the story added. Then Pusha T did Story Added 9. He said you're hiding the child and all this other shit. And then Drake went online like, "Oh man, that picture was from when I was doing acting and this and all of this other stuff.
I wasn't hiding my child from the world.
Yeah.
I was hiding the world from my child.
Yeah.
Boy.
And all of this other stuff. And it made him look like, oh shit, like what do I do?
Back on the ropes.
Yeah. He really looked like he was struggling. It's like when you see somebody who you feel like or who you think is like invincible, when you see a nigga get hit, you be like, oh, like that nigga got hit.
Oh,
and the way he handled it was he said, okay, I'm gonna do what I can over here, but then I'm gonna drop hit after hit after hit. He was like, okay, we got God's plan. We got Nice for What.
Well, I'm upset wasn't a hit.
Yeah, I'm upset.
Wasn't a hit.
Okay, we got In My Feelings. We got In My Feelings, God's Plan, Nice for What, and Nonstop and everything. So he said everything that's a single, we pushed it. So to make that the thing. But
that's what Drake do. Like he did what he's good at with just making hits, and
but I don't
he just
think,
flooded the market with hits to overlay the bullshit.
Yeah, and I mean I don't have no issue with the way he did it, but like an alternative that I think would have worked and could have just died it down quickly would have been like I said, if once Pusha T dropped Straight At a Dime, if he'd have been like came on Instagram like that nigga got me. That nigga fucking got me.
Acknowledged the L.
Yeah, if he acknowledged it, made light of it, joked about it or whatever.
Yeah.
It'd have been like, niggas have been like, yeah, you got you, whatever, yeah. But then he went on ahead and dropped his songs like whatever, like he was gonna do anyway.
Right.
I think the narrative around it would have been different. And then I think that would probably, and then maybe, people would have still looked at Pusha T as like how they look at him now. But controlling the narrative is super important.
Yeah, I think it is very important. Like that's actually one of the things. Well, not necessarily the narrative, but just controlling the conversation. That's one of the things they was trying to teach me in like some of my team leader classes or whatever. Like whenever you have a dispute between two people or whatever, it's your job. Like in order to keep everything at a certain level, you can't let them control the conversation. Like you can't let them keep going back and forth. You got to step in. Hey, yo, this is how things finna go. I'm gonna talk, and then you go talk, and then you go talk, and then I'm gonna talk, and that's how we go do it. All right, all right, cool, go ahead. And then that's one of the things they try to teach us or whatever. But I think it's very, like you said, I think it's very effective if he would have just came out and, like you said, or just did something to the point where, like, diffused it. Like, not necessarily like apologize or explain himself, like, because he looked like he was in panic mode, and like you don't make good decisions when you're panicking. Like one of the biggest beef I have with some of my supervisors, you don't make good decisions when you panic. If you just stop, calm down, think it through, and then it'll work out. But yeah, he was dodging raindrops left and right. Just look crazy out there. Yeah. Like,
so, and then even though he didn't quote unquote control it like that, he found a way to pivot and make it into a better situation for himself. But then it comes times when you try to and you can't, or it backfires. Yeah. So like when Meek Mill tried it or whatever, and he just got back to back, and it's like it just did not work for him. It didn't work. People might say like, oh, well, this song was better or whatever than back to back, even though back to back was Grammy nominated. But whatever, they might say the song was better, but he didn't have anything. And when you're the underdog or the less popular person, you're already at a disadvantage. So you have to come with it.
Yeah.
And like another time you can't control like a narrative is if you somebody like where you do it to yourself. If you're somebody like Chance or whatever, you go out there, you put your best foot forward, and you just fucking fall. And sometimes you fall, and I don't know how he could have. Only way he could have turned that around is by doing more music. I mean, there was no narrative to really control for him.
Nah, doing more music wouldn't have helped.
Man, but you can't stop altogether. But that nigga ain't, bro. The only song he put out since, he got like a feature with somebody else, and he got a feature with like Justin Bieber. That nigga been chilling.
He put a little 3-pack out.
But ain't nobody hear about that shit though. Yeah. I consider myself somewhat in tune with that kind of thing, and I don't know.
Yeah, don't nobody. So this is my biased opinion. I think the reason
all your shit be biased though.
Yeah, this is like my really biased opinion. I think the reason why so many people turn their back on Chance so fast is because he went straight full blown Christian, like in everybody's face. You know what I mean? Like because listen to Coloring Book, and then listen to Acid Rap and 10 Day. Acid Rap and 10 Day sound pretty much in the same vein, where Coloring Book sounds nothing like those. And then on top of that, the things he was doing on like Instagram Live, like he'll just pop up on Instagram Live reading the book of Philippians. Like
Coloring Book did great. What are you talking about?
It was a great album. Yeah. But I think his core fans like that don't really rock with that Christian wave or whatever. Like even like I know you really ain't really with the big, religious stuff or whatever, but you liked it from a music standpoint. Yeah. I'm talking about Chance as whatever his government name is.
Chancellor.
Okay, so I think his core audience liked him as a person and what he represented. But because he cleaned his image up and became this family man and didn't cuss and stopped talking about drugs and all this stuff, I think that's what hurt him the most.
No, I disagree.
And if he would have kept putting out music that sounded like the music on the big day, it would not have worked. Well, so I think he had to go back to that Acid Rap 10 Day, which he didn't really want to.
So I disagree with you, because musically the Big Day was just not good. Don't get me wrong, it has some okay songs on there. Like my favorite song on there is the one with Meg Thee Stallion, Handsome. That's my favorite song on there, and I think I might like one other one. But musically, it was just not on the level of Coloring Book. And I had heard,
and I totally agree.
And I think that's what it was for most people, because most people don't. Like I said, I think that's somewhat a you thing. I mean, I understand lots of people be like, "Well, this is not the person," yeah. But like I said, most music people are casual listeners. That's one of them things. Like, so you go
but not with people like Chance, who got damn near a cult, or had damn near a cult fan base.
See, if you had a cult fan base, they would still be here. That's why it's a cult.
Nah, because he changed from who he was to somebody different.
But I'm saying, Coloring Book did good because people heard it. So in the streaming era, if an album does good, that means people heard it and they went back to listen to it. Because you need so many streams for that shit to happen. So what happened with Big Day was niggas listened to it and they didn't like it. They never went back. So people kept going back to Coloring Book because they liked it. So people heard Big Day, they said, you know what, I'm straight on this. And I was one of them people, man. I remember I was in the back counting money, listening to the at work, listening to Big Day, and I'm like, man, this is just not it. Yeah. And I got through the whole album, and when I got through that album, I was like, thank God, I ain't gotta listen to this shit no more. And I listened to it, and I went back to Coloring Book. And then, like I said, Coloring Book songs still slap to this day. Yeah. Like I said, Juke Jam, that's y'all song or whatever. And the blessings come up. Like, that's my jump. Yeah. That's my jump. And it's not that it's godly. It could be about, like I said, you know, like I said, I'll listen to 5-Yo Foreign talk trap shit. I'll listen to Chance talk his godly shit. And I'm okay with both of those. It doesn't matter. As long as it sounds good sonically, musically, and it's something that I can play back at another time, and I'm okay with it, then I'm good. But nothing on Big Day said, hey, yo, run that shit back.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, that album was not as big as, or it's not as good as any of the other albums, like, just be honest.
Yeah.
But I think, personally, the biggest hit was just the way he started moving and such a drastic change of person that he became.
Bro, I don't think it had nothing to do with his person. I think it had to do with his music.
Yeah. I mean, that definitely aided in it. It definitely aided the way he fell off. But I just think it was. I think it was.
So,
it wasn't.
So
just
why do you put so much personality in the music? Like,
who, me?
Yeah,
because I think the who you. If you're not one of the many fake people out here rapping, like, who you are comes through in the music.
Yeah.
So when he was this depressed, damn near emo rapper, drugs and all that shit, like, people can relate to that. Uh-huh. So they listen to it, and then on top of that, it sounded good. Uh-huh. So they can relate to it. But
no, it sounds good, and then all that other stuff is secondary.
I think you. Well, okay. So I'm one. Like, I can speak from a standpoint where, when I had my dark times or whatever, like, I listened to like a lot of Kid Cudi albums got me through a lot of, like, depressive shit. So, like, when he like cleaned up or whatever, I could hear it. Okay, he don't sound the same. He's trying to be that same person, but he's not that same person. Like, I could tell he's not doing cocaine no more. I could tell he's not fucking cutting or whatever no more. I could tell he's not living this destructive lifestyle, and it just don't. It's not coming through the music the same way.
So that's what I'm saying. So you're chalking it up to the person. I'm chalking it up to the music.
No, I think but the person makes the music.
But
so the person,
but it's
if the person not living that same lifestyle no more, it comes through in their music.
But it's tons of people who fucking fake it and make good music. Tons of people, tons of fake thugs make thug music that sound hard as fuck or whatever. Yeah, like, and that's cool. But like I say, if it go hard, it go hard. Like,
but we don't. When we find out that these people are fake, you don't go back to it.
I mean, if I like a song, I like a song. So kind of like with the R. Kelly shit. A lot of people in public will not listen to R. Kelly, and they will not say nothing about R. Kelly. But at home, nigga, when a woman's fed up is getting played, nigga, I Wish is getting played. Nigga, Chocolate Factory is getting played. Nigga, so people be trying to hide it and act like, you know, people act like they have this super high morality with things. And it's a thing that they portray to the public to feel like, you know, like, no, this is how good of a person I am. I don't even listen to him anymore. I'm great. Yeah. Like, no, nigga, like, I'm about to bump that shit, nigga. Like, what do you mean, Alexa? Like, Alexa, play my shit. Like,
I get it. I get it. I look at it from a different standpoint. Just like,
I mean, and you know, tons of people look at it like that. Like, I had this one guy I used to work with. He stopped listening to Kanye after Kanye grabbed the mic from Taylor Swift. Or whatever. He was a white guy.
So? Like, I'll give you white, black, or green. Like, so what? See, we all know the truth. But Beyonce had the better album that year.
But you see, though, but for him, that was his thing. That was his trigger. He said, you know what? This part of his personality made me no longer want to listen to him. And then, so for people who listen to music for, like, the artist's personality or whatever, you have a different trigger.
I'm not saying you listen for the personality, but if you like that particular person and you hear a change, then it could throw you off. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not like I don't think there's a lot of artists. I don't think a lot of artists are good people, but you know, if I can hear the change in your personality come through, it's gonna throw me off.
I mean, I guess. I mean, like I said, as long as the music is good, like
you can tell that with Damn, Kendrick was going through a lot of spiritual shit. You can tell, like all his songs, Yah, God, like all these different self-identity or spiritual songs or whatever that he just put to a rapidy rap beat, and like you can hear it clear as day.
But it sounded good.
Yeah,
It's not so like to me like what's the other one? The second one, Pimp a Butterfly, said to me
that was way more socially conscious
to me
about black people,
and to me it just didn't sound as good. Not saying that the message wasn't there, but like for what I listened to musically compared to like Good Kid, Mad City, and Damn, to me, do you think To Pimp a Butterfly is the worst of those three?
No, I actually prefer To a Butterfly over Damn.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Because I skip way more songs on Damn than I do To a Butterfly.
Okay, and I skip way more than Pimp a Butterfly. Okay.
Yeah. That's just me though.
So we had an hour. You got anything you want to wrap up? Or any last stories you want to touch on?
No, man. I think that's about it. I ain't got nothing else. Like I said, shameless plug. Go to shoprylng.com. Go ahead, grab you a Black Excellence hoodie. There's a couple more left. The price is the price. Don't argue. What else? I think that's about it. Just stay on the lookout for, if you're in Detroit, I got some new Detroit apparel dropping. Go back and listen to our last episode or watch our last episode. Share it, like it, subscribe, all that stuff. Do all the YouTube algorithm stuff. Make us known. I think that's about it. What you got?
Nothing really. I'm supposed to go to the studio later today with my brother.
Oh, nice.
I'm supposed to do a song.
Nice. He just sent me a link to like upvote his tuxedos and Patron.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was dope.
And I think I got a fun fact actually.
Oh, hit me.
Shit, do I? I don't.
Oh, you know what? So this I got something.
Oh.
What?
You know the song "Forget You" by CeeLo Green?
Yeah.
That was actually written by Bruno Mars.
Oh.
Okay. He was on the writing team for it. Let me say that.
Nice.
So it was a group of writers who wrote it, and Bruno Mars was on the team.
That's dope.
Okay.
That's dope. So one of the I was my daily scroll through Instagram or whatever, and this guy was talking about how this particular artist, or this guy, he's an artist, and he always get the question like, how did you get yourself out there? How I get myself out there? Blah, blah,
Music
blah.
artists are like visual.
He draw and shit.
Draw. Okay.
And so he was like, he always get that question or whatever. So he finally decided to answer it. And first he did like a funny video answering it or whatever, and then he came back serious or whatever. And like he gave these 4 things that like I think a lot of people could, prosper from or whatever, or just take and do something with. But like the first one, he was talking about how you got to put fear behind you, and really like everybody is afraid of failing. But you can't let that get in front of you and stop you from trying. You should actually put fear behind you as fire to get your ass up and not fail. Like, it's that simple. So fear, put fear behind you. The second one is there is no guarantee that you will pop. Is quite literally all based on just luck. Like I'm pretty sure you know some artists that aren't as good as you, but they just popped and you didn't. But then on the other side, I'm sure there's people that look at you like, man, I'm better than him, but you got way more streams or whatever than other people do. It literally comes down to luck. Like you can be as good or as bad as you want to be, but if you don't pop, you don't pop, and that's just it. So just keep in mind there is no guarantee to whatever you want to do. Number three, I took to heart. It was go the fuck outside. Like for real, it was go the fuck outside. And but what he mean was like he was telling the stories about like how many live paintings he had to go to, how many parties he had to go to, how many networking events he had to do. Like he had to go out and be seen and talk to people. He didn't just sit behind his phone and send out, social media stuff or whatever. He actually went and met people and talked to people, shook hands word of mouth or whatever. And I took that one to heart because I kind of felt like I built my own little bubble with the black market or whatever, and I haven't really seen that many effective. That event itself has grown, but like me, I haven't really grown from that. So I kind of took that one to heart. But the last one was fame isn't important, because he was saying like if you want to be famous, then you got to realize that most of the time it don't come with money. If you want to get money, you can always get a job in the art field. You can be a graphic designer. You can be a painter for whatever company. Like you can get money, and you can get money and not be seen. But if you want to be seen, like that's something you should actually like take into consideration, because what's most important is, are you getting paid, not are you being seen. So just
facts.
Yeah, just taking a quick little plagiarism, taking his words in so many. It's like 4 or 5 videos he did or whatever talking about that. But
was that on TikTok?
No, that was on Instagram.
The algorithm got your ass.
Man, got my ass again.
30 seconds at a time, man.
But yeah, it was on Instagram. If y'all want to look him up, his name is Marcus Prime, Markus Prime, Prime. But he's a pretty dope artist or whatever. He does like these black comic strips or whatnot, and it's all like not safe for work stuff. It's pretty funny. But yeah, check him out. I'll probably tag or something. You guys can see him. But I think that's about it, man.
All right, man. I'm good.
Good episode.
All right, good episode, man. We will catch y'all around.
Peace.
Peace.
Take care of these damn orders.